Continuing with the previous topic, adaptation, morphological. Other examples that don't include the two aforementioned adaptation, they can also illustrate this type of adaptation. The cacti have adapted to the desert environment, and for this they have modified their leaves normal in spines, which protect the succulent tissues from the cacti of potential herbivores, serve as places of concentration of air humidity and as protection of the photosynthetic bark against intense insolation and UV radiation. Also, the color of the spines and often the color of dry grass could be an adaptation for camouflage or for recognition by pollinators or seed dispersers. Physical adaptation either. Functional adaptation and are those that are related with metabolisms and inner workings of different organs of parts of the individual. That is, they represent a change in performance of your body to solve some problem that is present in the environment. The main examples, although not unique, of adaptation physical are in hibernation and estivation. Adaptation of behavior or behavior. They are those that imply some modification in the behavior of organisms to different causes, such as ensuring reproduction, searching for food, defending themselves from predators, move periodically from one environment to another when environmental conditions they are unfavorable to ensure their survival. The clearest example of this type of adaptation are migration and courtship. In case of Peru, one could not fail to mention the adaptation achieved by the vicuña, a species that bear well present the three types of adaptation. Adaptation to the aquatic environment. Adaptation to change salinity. The salinity of the ocean's influence the functioning of organisms that live in them as well as the fish migration. Evolution of ecosystems. Short change term and a rich mix change. The living things that are part of ecosystem respond to origin phenomena astronomical that already existed before life appeared. The fluctuation something the living things in a ecosystem change without apparent explanation or respond to environmental variation, quite inexplicable, although they have wanted to be related to be solar activity. Ecosystems don't remain unchanged over time. Some changes are recurring, for example, seasonal changes, but there are changes that have to do with auto-process ecosystem organization. These changes imply the substitution of space and the modification of environmental conditions are directional change. This process of non-recurring change is called ecological succession. To the enduring community in which minimizes specific and environmental change is called a community climax. Ecological succession is the series of change that experience an ecosystem in the composition of its species through weather. Primary succession uh, occurs over long periods of time. For example, colonization by vegetation of lava flows in places like Hawaii or similar. A primary succession occurs in areas that have not been previously colonized, such as barren rock, lava, sands deposited by change in ocean currents. And secondary succession occurs in sites previously occupied by some kind of plant cover, subject to some kind of disturbance of natural or anthropogenic origin. A definition of environmental goods and service. Environmental services are those functions of ecosystems that generate benefits and welfare for people and communities. Environmental goods are objects that are products of nature directly valued and used by the human beings. Environmental service. The components on the biological diversity interact in a way independent and joint thanks to the process. Ecological conforming a set of goods and environmental service whose value has no relation to the value of their offer and demand. Ecosystem service, a supply or provision service. These benefits are obtained from the goods and services that people receive directly from ecosystems. Among them, we have food, fresh water, materials, raw materials, genetic resources, among others. Regulation service. These benefits are obtained through the regulation of ecosystems process, such as regulation of air quality, climate regulation, erosion regulation, among others. Cultural service. These are the non-material benefits that people get from ecosystems. Among them, we have the scenic beauty, the recreation and tourism, inspiration for culture, art, and design, the spiritual experience and information for the development of knowledge. Support or base service. Groups the service necessary to produce other ecosystems service such as nurturing, cycling, soil formation, and primary production. Um, Differing in service ambiental service or environmental service and environmental goods. For example, um, environmental service are flood protection and nutrient fixation, atmosphere, carbon fixing, recreation, scenic beauty, landscaping. Environmental goods are water for domestic uses, irrigation, forest products, wood, wirewood, non-timber products, medicinal plants.